I'm Nick Vecchio and welcome to Nick's Supper Club. Today we're going to do an stuffed artichoke recipe, which is a new spin on my mom's recipe. I'm going to add a little bit of a white wine cream sauce. We're also going to have some mussels with a lot of garlic and butter, which you say in Massachusetts. And we're going to play some music for you later, like we always do on our show. And I always say this as a disclaimer going in that I am not a chef, I am a music teacher, but I love to cook and I love to hang out with my friends. It's my favorite thing to do. So welcome to my home. Salute.
I'm gonna buy 100 pounds of catfish.
Okay, first thing you have to do when you are going to make mussels, you have to clean them. Cleaning is imperative because nobody wants to eat sand. And as you will see, these guys have like these kind of funky little beards on them, and that's because that's where they attach to rocks. So what we do is we take all the mussels and we dump them into a big pot. That's 10 pounds of mussels right there, okay? Because they're going to be sandy and kind of gross because, you know, they live in the water. They live in the ocean. And I'm going to rinse them off once really quickly and just dump off all the residue that's on them. Let's kind of move them around a little. They can take the punishment, don't feel bad. Sometimes you'll see one that's broken up, you can discard that. I have that, I'm going to dump that right out. You can see the water's kind of cloudy. Okay, we're going to put some salt in there. Just drizzle some in like that. And then I also like to put a little bit of cornmeal. Kind of sweetens them up a little bit. So we're going to do this like 3 or 4 times. It's going to get all the sand and muck out of there. And that makes the mussels nice and clean and plump and juicy. So we're going to do that. As we go through, I like to take a look at them and see if I can find any of these like weird little beards. This is where they attach themselves to rocks. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do this 3 or 4 times. We're going to get them nice and clean, and then we're going to eat them. We're going to cook them up with some garlic and some white wine. It's going to be awesome.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Some call me the gangster of love.
All right, here we go with our artichokes. This is a regular sized giant artichoke. These are the types my mom used to make when I was a kid, and she would cut them and she would stuff them. She would stuff breadcrumb all in between the leaves and then steam them. Some people bake them. There's a variety of ways you can do it, but what we're doing today is we're doing a sort of spin on the way my mom used to make them, although I'm using baby artichokes today and we're going to have them as an appetizer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the bottoms to make them flat so they sit like this. Then I'm going to cut the top part of the leaves off, and then we're going to pull off all these outer leaves. If you don't take off those outer leaves, you won't get to the tender part, and steaming them is just impossible. It takes forever. What I do next is I grab a little spoon. This is a 1/4 teaspoon spoon. I hold it kind of tight around the edge, and I go inside and I basically core it. And I pull this out just like this. This is called the choke on the inside, and I pull the choke out. We're going to stuff that with some breadcrumb and cheese. It's a plain breadcrumb with some salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese. It has some herbs in it too. It has basil and parsley, sage, oregano, thyme, and I'm going to pour it right into this, just like this. And then we're going to steam them with some garlic, salt, and pepper. Garlic, salt, pepper, and olive oil. That's what I do to everything. That is now going to go into a pot with a bunch of others, and I'll get on the oven in a little bit and we'll show you how to cook those. But there you go, little stuffed artichokes.
'Cause I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I get my loving on the run. Woo.
Okay, now we're going to start cooking our artichokes. Very, very easy to do. You would be amazed. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some chopped garlic, and I got probably 3 or 4 tablespoons here, and I'm just going to sprinkle it around the top. We're going to put about a teaspoon of salt, about a teaspoon of black pepper, or actually about a half teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, and then we're gonna drizzle with olive oil. Pay special attention to getting them right on top of each little artichoke because you want that to seep down into the breadcrumb. So delicious. It's all about the olive oil. And then a little bit of extra olive oil just all over everything. Get it underneath in the pan. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill it with water about 2/3 of the way up the height of the smallest artichoke. Okay, so I'm going to just start pouring some water in. I got some water right here. Okay, now all we got to do is we have to just turn it on. We're going to steam them and let them cook. Now, you may actually end up needing to add more water after we get it going. After this stuff burns off, we may need to add more if the artichokes aren't tender enough. And then we'll keep cooking it until we feel that it's at the desired tenderness. And then we go from there. Okay, now we're back. We brought it up to a boil. And at this point in the game, all we want to do is we want to steam these little guys. So we're just going to turn it down to as low as we can turn it. See how it's simmered right down? And I'm going to throw this over there and we're going to steam it. We're going to come back and check it in about 10 minutes and see how things are going. Okay, at this point, we've steamed our artichokes. And I tested one to make sure that it's tender enough. So we're good to go. Now what's going to happen here is we're going to take these out one at a time. We're going to put them in this little tray over here. And then when they're all out, I'm going to make a sauce out of the leftover liquid. I'm going to bring that up, get it hot again. So I'm going to put some whipping cream in. I'm going to put about a cup. Half a cup or so of Parmesan cheese. We're going to put about a half a cup or so of Chardonnay. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I squeeze those from lemons myself. We're probably going to want to put a little salt and pepper in it, though not much because there was already salt and pepper in the broth when we were steaming these to begin with. Okay, so our sauce is thickened up perfectly. And it tastes great. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plate it. And we're going to make it look real pretty. Like that. A new spin on an old favorite, stuffed artichokes.
You're the cutest thing that I ever did see. I really love your peaches, wanna shake your tree. Lovey dovey, lovey dovey, lovey dovey all the time.
So at this point, I'm going to start getting things ready for us to steam those mussels. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put about 10 tablespoons of olive oil. I do a full count per tablespoon. 5, 6, 40. Okay, we're in. We got 10 tablespoons of olive oil. But basically, that's a tablespoon per pound of mussels because we're doing 10 pounds of mussels. So the next thing to go into the pot is going to be 6 tablespoons of minced garlic. All right. A teaspoon of salt. And then a teaspoon of black pepper. All right, now I'm going to start frying it. Now what we want to do is we want to fry it up, but we don't want to fry it to the point where the garlic turns brown. We only want to fry it just to get it going. We want it to be hot but not burnt. Okay, so the next thing that's going to go into this, we're going to add our liquid. So we're going to add wine. We're going to add some clam stock. Now, you can use water. I use 2 cups of water or 2 cups of clam stock. We're also going to put in 2 cups of white wine. We got a half cup of chopped parsley. Key. And my all-time favorite, an entire stick of butter. And once that gets melted, we're gonna put the mussels in, and we're gonna steam them up. As you can see, it's starting to, it's starting to boil. All of my ingredients from before. Here is my 10 pounds of mussels, all gonna go in at once. We're not messing around. And there you go. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover it up, and I'm gonna let these guys do their thing. Let them take their hot steam bath. There you go. See you in a few minutes, fellas. Okay, our mussels should be about ready, so let's see. Voila, you notice a bunch of them have opened up. And they're pretty much ready. Look at them all. They look beautiful. And man, does that smell good? So now I'm gonna plate it up. Let's just do it.
Oh, yeah, baby, I sure show you the time. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I gave my loving on the run. 'Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. 'Cause I'm a joker.
All right, so this is another fine mess I've gotten us into. Thank you so much for being here today, guys. Welcome to Nick's Supper Club. Salud.
Awesome. That's so fun, man. Too cool. You're awesome, man. Wonderful.